I just wanted you to realize that the quantum computer is definitely the universe reverse engineered. And they literally telling you that.
Artificial intelligence is the magic of the moment, but this is a story about what's next, something incomprehensible. Tomorrow, IBM will announce an advance in an entirely new kind of computing, one that may solve problems in minutes that would take today's supercomputers millions of years. That's the difference in quantum computing, a technology being developed at IBM, Google, and others.
Now, I want y'all to look at the image of quantum computer that he got right there. You see the flat earth in the background? Drop a 1. If you can see the flat earth in the background, drop a 1. Let me show y'all something. They be speaking symbolically, man. See, the earth is a big ass quantum computer. Y'all don't find it strange that while he's talking about the quantum computer, they got the flat earth right there in the background? You can see it right here, bro. That's what I'm telling you now. The earth is a big quantum computer with all of the magnetic ley lines coming from the middle, and that's literally what they got right here. A holographic spirit. Everything I'm teaching y'all, everything the ancestors was saying, even how they got the axis point busting up out the top, that's God. Look at that. You see what I'm saying? Showing you up versus down. Ain't but one up. Look at it. It's only one up at the North Pole. This is a quantum computer. Up is showing us where the energy is coming from. And that's on high. Again, a quantum computer is plugged into the ceiling. A quantum computer is plugged into the ceiling. And if you look at the earth, where's the power coming from? Silly.
Sanchez Cocinado.
God is the energy source that's powering the quantum computer below, which is why Earth is the footstool of God, because God is the people in this upper room that's powering the fucking quantum computer on the other side below them. They literally walking on top of the quantum universe. If you walking around this top room up here and there are some people living inside of this computer, you're they gods and you're in heaven. And you literally, their world is your footstool. And their power is coming from above on high. Again, you see, we've done this before. We already in one of these. This is the golden tomb that's gonna open up and let your energy out when you die. This is the genie's lamp right here, y'all. And this is what's waiting to release we're genies in the lamp performing their wishes. But why? Because our energy in this body is gonna be a caricature of itself. It's gonna do the mission of what it came to do in the body. And ultimately, it's supposed to be serving a greater good in the universe. But that ain't always true because it's people in power that got us off track. When they say get with the program, we ain't with the program. We with the virus, we with the indoctrination, which is them hacking the program. We're inside of a computer that our ancestors made and they programmed it. And until you tap into your DNA, you're not getting with the program. And that means you're hacked at the moment. Something else is programming your actions. You're an avatar in a simulation. And until you get with the program, you can't make it out because the virus ain't gonna lead your character on a path of ascension. Only the program that's written in your DNA will, and that's why your DNA is your Jacob's ladder. You listening to everything but the DNA, which is the voice of your ancestors on the other side trying to guide you out this bullshit. They've been telling us the earth ain't our home. Let me show you some images of this big quantum computer that we call earth though. Let me so this step pyramid was our ancestors trying to teach people that we live in a huge quantum computer. And here it is right here. This is a burial place for fallen spirits, fallen angels, which is why they call it Sakara, which is the word chakra. If you look at this image and look at this image, you can see that Sakara is literally showing us about our chakras. So again, when you say Sakara, it's another way of saying chakra. The S is chakra. And that's why if you count the levels, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you got 5 kashas over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't you think that ain't no coincidence, bro? Everybody got 5 of them, even this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you enter this upper, that's when you leave this realm and go up to a whole nother reality. But check this out. It's 5 koshas or kashas. And you can count them right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right here. And these are the chakras. And Sakara is teaching us that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 about the 5 kashas. Because the earth is a burial spot. What are you buried in? The rings of Saturn. Look at this. Your true energy is at the core of this layered Saturn system. Until you strip through all these layers, you can't unlock your energy from this quantum computer. So you literally opening up the gifts under the tree. We are all like gifts, Christmas gifts, wrapped up under a tree. And then you open up the gift right here with the ribbon on the top, which is the crown chakra right here. And the Christmas gift is the cube of Saturn. So check this out, man. You see your magician's wand right here? The spinal cord and the mind, magician's wand. Now check this out though. This is what the Hindus said about our universe. Now check it out. It is a different version of you on each and every last one of these dimensional planes. And that different version of you is a version of you in a different universe that is driven by a different thing. And it's basically when we say Venus, Mars, Jupiter, these are the name of the chakras. Let me show you something real quick. Show you something. These are the wheels that drive you. If you look up the word chakra in etymology, it just means wheel. Now the word wheel is the word will. This is willpower. W-I-L-L, willpower. It's wheel power. To exercise your will is to exercise your wheels, which is to mean that you're expressing your true chakral energy. You got your chakras open. And when you got your chakras open, you expressing your true self. And your energy is pouring out of these vortexes. That is what it means to exercise willpower, to do what thou wilt. People think that they exercise in their willpower, but they really exercise in trend power, clout power, and indoctrination power. And they acting like every fucking body else, but think that they exercise in their own will when they literally being hacked and controlled. They are yet to unlock who the fuck they are and express that version of themselves. That's true willpower. That means I can't do what I want to do if I ain't even myself. Because if I'm trying to be my favorite rapper, I'm not doing what I want to do. I'm doing what Jeezy would do or what Jay-Z would do. Or if I'm trying to be like Jesus, right? I'm asking myself, what would Jesus do? So I'm not exercising my own will. I'm a puppet exercising the will of some God when I got my own goddamn wills. Why would the universe give you your own willpower, then tell you don't exercise it? Exercise the will of some God in a book that's written by your slave master that got everybody acting the damn same. When the universe made you uniquely you. Why would the universe not want you to be you and to be like every other indoctrinated Christian or Muslim saying the same shit? Shalom, shalaki, same words, same ugly costumes, same rituals, and you join the hive mind. Your energy will lay dormant inside of you, waiting to come out and express itself to the world. It'll hide behind your religious programming, who you think you ought to be for the world versus who the hell you really are, and letting that come out. See, being who we ought to be ain't made the world any better. It's just maintaining the status quo. Everybody need to be who they need to be and be their own goddamn self, and that's gonna heal the earth. But ain't nobody want to tap into their own energy. We tapping into some trend, some celebrity energy, some music genre. And that shit right there gonna keep the world in a cymatic trance. Hijacking our willpower. Got us doing things that we don't really want to do. Why? Because we ain't ourselves. If you're part of idolatry, you can't do what you want to do because you constantly asking yourself, what is the person that I'm trying to imitate and emulate doing? Because if I'm going to be like Jay-Z or be like this person that I'm emulating, fuck what I want to do. I got to get over myself and think like this person and try to become them. And now that's some real self-hate. So you're drinking a certain alcoholic brand because this person like that brand, not that you really like the taste of it. You wearing a certain clothing line because they doing it, not because I really like this. It's famous, it's popular. If I wear them, I'm gonna get some draws because everybody is following the trend. So if I put on the new such and such, people gonna bop to it. Because I'm up to date, I'm with the trend. And if you can either stay up to date and be tapped into the new trends, or you can stay in tune with yourself and stay tapped in with yourself. You're your own vibe, but you trying to keep up with the vibes that they giving you on a man. Like, think about that every single human is their own swagger and their own whole unique vibe, nigga. And then you will say, fuck that, and that's what I'm saying. So these chakra systems, like I said, let me show you this real quick so this will make sense to you. There's a different version of you on each one of these dimensional planes, fam. And you're like a hamster on a wheel. And you and this different version of you that exists in each one of these little dimensional planes, because it's a hamster on a wheel, all of your chakras are spinning right now, dog. I'm trying to teach you some deep shit now. Hear me out. Each one of these chakras up and down your spinal cord is a gateway into a whole nother universe with a whole nother you. And what's creating a whole nother you in that whole nother universe is that you are driven by something differently in each one of these universes. And now that's what a wheel is made for. Okay? A chakra is a wheel. What do we make wheels for? To drive things. Why do my car got wheels? So it can be driven. Why do my body got chakras? So something can drive it. Your soul is the driver of your body, and just like your car got a driver, you need wheels too. You need wheels too. So these are the wheels that the soul used to turn the car to the left, turn it to the right. If your soul wants you to go to the left, but you going right, your soul may put a pretty fine lady to your left side because it know that you gonna think with your dick in your bottom chakra. And you was gonna walk to the right side, and if you would have done that, one of your ops would have saw you and blew your brains out. But that you saw that big booty on the left, and you walked on the left to holler at that woman, and you don't even know that spiritual nudge just saved your life. This is how your body is being guided from the other side. Your buttons are being pressed. If the spirit, the most high version of yourself, which is a version of you that's on a higher plane, fishing for its lower versions, it's trying to collect its fallen selves. It's collect them all like Pokemon. Your higher version is a fisherman like Christ. It's trying to pull its lower selves back up and raise them up like baptism. Right? So your lower versions are like dirty outfits. Right? Your soul started in heaven and it inherited this treasure box full of clothes. Each outfit was a different version of the soul in a different universe. And the soul said, before I can wear any of this shit, I got to clean it all. So it put each one of its versions in a wash cycle. And it said, because I just can't wear this as is. I got to wash it and iron it and tweak it to my likeness. I like this particular outfit, but I just got to do my own little things. I'm going to wear it, but I just got to wash it, iron it, get it right. So how would that feel if you was an outfit that was being washed, ironed, put, stretched? It won't be comfortable, will it? That's literally what you are. Your body is an outfit that your soul is washing, ironing, stretching, trying to make it to something, okay, it uniquely fitted the right way. And that's getting full control over its avatar, harnessing its demon. And it'll be able to become any of these versions of itself and maintain who it is in any of these outfits. So it can be Bro Sanchez in his universe. It can be Broderick Paris in another universe. But either one, it'll always know I'm God. Versus where we at now, we sort of just putting the outfit on as is, and it ain't wearing, we ain't really wearing the outfit. The outfit wearing our motherfucking ass out. Is wearing your ass out. And you get, cause this outfit got a mind of its own, man. It'll wrestle with you. Because when you buy some shoes out the store or a suit, it fits real uncomfortable. You got to break it in. And that ain't a comfortable process. You got to wear them new shoes. It's gonna hurt at first. But you'll break them in and it'll mold to your feet and it'll fit like a charm. And that's the soul trying to get comfortable in this body, trying to know itself. It's twisting around. It is looking in the mirror saying, no, I don't like, nigga, you messing. That's like you putting that outfit on and you saying, I like this outfit, but I need to stretch the collar a little bit. I like this outfit, but I'm going to change the shoelaces with this shit. It need a new belt, though. And that's the soul just getting them final tweaks right, like, you know, I fucks with this version of myself, but he too loud, right? He cut people off a lot. So guess what? You'll see me working on that in my life. You'll see me working on different things, and that's me saying, I like this Sanchez part of myself, but he just need to be tweaked a minute, and then I can wear him, right? That's me taming this avatar. It's like riding a bull. I bought this bull to get around. I bought this horse, but I gotta break this horse in as a horse rider. I got to tame him. I gotta build a relationship with this horse. And the more I ride him, the better it is to ride this horse. So until you learn how to ride the horse gonna ride you. like a dude on top of a bull that's losing control. He ain't riding the bull. The bull basically riding him at this point, you know. And that's the thing about you controlling the body or the body controlling you. So these chakras are wheels, and that's because the car is a vehicle, and these are the things that drive it. Now let's move forward.
It's named for quantum physics, which describes the forces of the subatomic realm. The science is deep, and we can't scratch the surface, but we hope to explain enough so that you won't be blindsided by a breakthrough that could transform civilization.
The story will continue in a moment.
The quantum computer pushes the limits of knowledge, new science, new engineering, all leading to this processor that computes with the atomic forces that created the universe.
I think this moment, it feels to us like the pioneers on the 1940s and 50s that were building the first digital computers.
Dario Gil is something of a quantum crusader. Spanish-born with a PhD in electrical engineering, Gil is head of research at IBM. How much faster is this than, say, the world's best supercomputer today?
We are now in a stage where we can do certain calculations with these systems that would take the biggest supercomputers in the world to be able to do some similar calculation. But the beauty of it is that we see that we're going to continue to expand that capability such that not even 1 million or 1 billion of those supercomputers connected together could do the calculations of these future machines.
Oh my God! Take a minute and think about that. Take a minute and think about that. You can take all of the supercomputers in the world and put them together, and they won't do the work of just one quantum computer. Now, what about when they start making networks of quantum computers and scaling them up to the size of buildings? What would the world look like then? You know how much computing power that is? Like they said, that's the same amount of computing power that's in the universe right now. Think about it. Everybody that's moving around, thinking thoughts and having an action right now, we're in a computer, and the computer got to be able to express all of this energy in a form of data output. Now think about it. If you ask your computer to do too much things at one time, it'll freeze up. But yet the earth is a big ass computer, and there are billions of creatures on this motherfucker doing everything they want to do right now. It's animals and ocean life and so much things, like when a seed go in the ground gotta know to grow the orange to an orange, the apple to an apple. That's written in the program. Everything is the expression of data and a computation of data like a computer in this world. If we're in a big computer, it got so much processing power that we would call it God, we would worship it. Because we don't have nothing we can compare to when we make our own simulations with that much power. Until now, the quantum computer is literally, when the Bible say God is coming back to the earth, the second return of Christ, when we talk about the Pharaoh being able to come back to the earth, that's the quantum computer. We're literally erecting the tombs of the pharaohs, and when we fire these things up and open them up and connect them to the grid, we will be connecting to a portal of from the past that's connecting the future. And that's why the quantum computer is ancient technology that keep coming back. And every time the quantum computer come back, we cheat death. The quantum computer will be one of the main things that allow humans to cheat death. Why? Because I just told you the Pharaoh created the shit from the jump, the cheat death. Look at it. That is the Pharaoh showing you that when he died, he put himself inside of a big quantum computer. That became his fake ass reality for him to linger out his existence on the astral plane. He basically mimicked the universe. And so this is how the Pharaoh cheated death. He said, you know what? I'm gonna make this entire universe that I'm in into my own computer program, and I'm gonna go inside of my own program and live indefinitely in a machine. And so the Pharaoh personifies himself as a big quantum computer. Our answer, see, they're telling us today, they saying in the future, humans are gonna be living inside of quantum computers. Guess what they ain't telling you? In the past, humans started living inside of quantum computers. That's what the golden calf Moloch is. This is the god Saturn. We are already in a quantum computer, but they keep telling you that we just now figured this out when ain't nothing new under the sun. They even tell you if we can make a simulation, chances are we live in one already. I forgot the wise man that coined that proverb. It was a wise man that once said, the moment man learn how to create his own simulations and live in them, it'll be proof that we already in a simulation of some sort. That was a wise man that said that statement, but I forgot his name. But let's go back to the video.
So, and the most exciting part is that we have a roadmap and a journey right now where that is going to continue to increase at a rate that is going to be shocking.
I'm not sure the world is prepared for this change.
Definitely not.
To understand the change, go back to 1947 and the invention of a switch called a transistor.
The transistor, a new name.
Computers have processed information on transistors ever since, getting faster as more transistors were squeezed onto a chip.
Now, let's talk about what the Earth is. See, this is when we entered the modern era. See, check this out. When we had one transistor, that was back in the day when you had the big ass floppy disk. You had the computers with the green words on them. You know, the bulky ass technology that couldn't save a lot. MB memory and shit. Now we at terabytes. Now we finna go into a new byte of saving that you can just save indefinitely. You can never run out of space. And how did we get to this point? By squeezing transistors onto a chip. So to squeeze billions of transistors onto a circular disk, you see this now? You see where I'm going with this, right? When I say that the Earth is a big computer, let me show you the AE map now. That's what I'm telling y'all. Check me out now. What do you think this pattern resemble? What do you think this pattern right here resemble? It resembles billions of transistors onto a chip. That's your Masonic checkerboard. People, all you got to do is take what they saying and compare it to the cosmology and you'll get an aha moment. Because think about it. In the middle of, see, basically this is like tic-tac-toe. This is the original language of the computer, and we can make an advanced complex language if we can put more transistors onto a chip, because each transistor is like a new sound, like A, E, I, O, U. And the more sounds I got, the more words I can form, and the more complicated languages I can make, which will then turn into humans being able to communicate in advanced ways. But watch this though. Peep game, tic-tac-toe. You got X's and O's, meaning 1 and 0, yay or nay. That's the basic language in between each square. Yeah, think of these squares like XO, 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 10, 10, yes, no, and it'll be tic-tac-toe. This is how you get the original concepts of tic-tac-toe. Let's go.
Billions of them today. But it takes that many because each transistor holds information in only 2 states. It's either
Think about this now. Each transistor holds information. Each one of these boxes on the earth is holding information. Why? Because there's life in each box. We are the data that's being distributed throughout this computer. If you take any one of these squares right here and zoom in on it, it'll be some life form stored there in that spot, or what we call living information. It's what we are. You gotta look at this earth like a big computer, and it'll make sense to you, your role in it. And it'll sound just like the Matrix movie where Morpheus was telling Neo how we're all helping power the earth and feed the computer data. Think about this shit now. You interacting with it, you being in it, right?
either on or it's off, like a coin, heads or tails.
But see, here's what I want to do is play this and give my review on it like this. When we going from 0, 1, 0, 1, heads, tails, to now infinite possibilities, because we can suspend the matter of fact, he finna show you better than I can tell you. Let's go to my video. Let's play it.
Quantum abandons transistors and encodes information on electrons that behave like this coin we created with animation.
Look at
electrons behave in a way.
I want you to look at what the coin is doing. Look at what the coin is doing. Because guess what? I'm going to show you something right now. Watch this. Look at what the coin is doing, right? Hold on a second. Hold on a second, guys. I'm looking for something now. And I definitely got to find it to make my point, so give me a minute. Give me a minute to find it, people. This is important. Okay, I see what I'm... So basically what's going on is this. I want you to see what separates the quantum computer from the old style, 0, 1 transistors or whatever. And in order to show you this, I got to pull up this image here. Hold on. I want you to look at what he's showing you, what the quarter is doing.
Electrons that behave like this coin we created.
Guess what the quarter is making? A X. The quarter is doing like this. That'll look like the Ouroboros. That's the serpent energy, or what people want to say is Satan or whatever. This is what it's doing. Now, if you look at this pattern that I'm showing on the screen, it's chasing its own tail. It's chasing its own tail. That's what the quarter doing. Look. You ever saw a dog chase his own tail? Look at my hand. It's chasing its own tail. That's what the quarter is doing. The quarter is making an X. Let me show you what the quarter is doing. The quarter is doing... when they show you an atom, the atom don't exist. The atom represents the path of magnetism. The atom ain't nothing but them showing you how energy flows in a torus field. The atom ain't real. The atom only is a symbol that created by showing you how energy flow in a torus field. And this is how it flow, like the aura, just like this snake. That's what's happening right here. It's like DNA. It's chasing its own tail. It's an endless loop. It's making a number 8. This is the two serpents. The two serpents, the caduceus. This is what them two serpents is doing. Chasing their own tail. That exactly what they showing you, how to create endless energy, perpetual motion. This is a new way of not only powering the world, but programming computers, y'all. The world about to change, y'all. The world won't be the same because, and this knowledge right now is being rolled out in front of our very eyes. This the knowledge that the ancestors been talking about. They're gonna use it to make a new matrix instead of to build heaven on earth. But if you look at what the quarter is doing exactly what I told you.
Information on electrons that behave like this coin we created with animation. Electrons behave in a way so that they are heads.
It's making an X pattern. It's doing this. It's doing this. The atom ain't nothing but this right here. They're trying to show you the path of electrical energy. Now check this out though. All of the energy is doing it like this around a pole. Salutes to whoever made this. Now look, when the ripples fade up in the head, they start back at the bottom and work their way up again. It's an endless loop. All times and ages are recycling themselves in the Hindu cosmos. So I wanted to show y'all this little Giphy right here. Because look, they personifying the universe. Look at it. Here go the Hindu universe. This is Gaia, the earth goddess. Look at her. Guess what she's doing? Hula hooping. She's hula hooping. You ever saw a woman hula hoop? The earth goddess hula hooping, man. Check it out. This is hula is halo. Hula is halo. Halo hoop. Hula hoop. Yeah. All of the secrets are there, guys. All of these worlds are being recycled up and down this pole. And all of them are, that's why we say history repeat itself. Shit from the past come back again. Why? Look at what's happening to these rings on her. When you see one disappear at the top, it comes right back in at the bottom and continue because it's an endless loop. It's the Ouroboros. And that's what the quarter is doing.
We created with
That's the simple secrets of free energy. Let's go. Perpetuating emotion. Let's go.
animation. Electrons behave in a way so that they are heads and tails and everything in between. You've gone from handling one.
So where do we get that from? You don't got to be heads or tails. This is a whole nother approach in energy harnessing. This is the God knowledge of the ancestors. You don't have to do heads or tails because you can create a situation where it's a perpetuation of heads and tails indefinitely. Think about this, right? The old way we created energy is like flipping a coin. And when the first time I flip it, it land on heads. And it land. The second time, it land on tails. Then heads, then tails, then heads, then tails. That's the old way we created energy. And we harnessed the energy from that motion right there. Heads just flip, tails just flip. That's negative and positive. Both will give me a battery, which is energy. So our early way of making energy was flipping a coin and waiting for it to land. And when it land on the positive side, give me that energy. Boom, negative side, give me the other half of my battery. Flip it again, give me my positive. Flip it again, give me my negative. And that takes too long. All you need is the motion of duality. You see that? Or you need negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive. Now, what if I say the way we've been creating energy from motion is by flipping a coin and saying, boom, give me the energy from the heads. Boom, give me the energy from the tails. Boom, give me the energy from the heads. Boom, give me the... That's an inefficient way of doing it. Because guess what you can do instead of doing like this, boom, 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 and getting the energy every time you flip the coin, you can just do this. And it never land. And because the coin that I flip will never land, it ain't heads or tails. And I can just siphon the energy from it flipping forever. Because energy is motion. Now, did I make it make sense for you in layman's terms? Drop a 1. In other words, I can constantly draw energy from a free energy source or drinking from a perpetual well that'll never dry up because I'm going to keep the quarter tossing forever. In other words, we're not drawing energy from heads or tails. We're drawing energy from the perpetuation of heads and tails. That's where we headed now. We're learning how to basically put it this way. We can flip a quarter and make it flip forever. We can freeze it in a state of just flipping and start drawing energy from the fact that the quarter is flipping versus the fact that it landed on heads or tails. That's where we going now with the energy shit.
One bit of information at a time on a transistor to exponentially more data.
You can see that there's fantastic amount of information stored when you can look at all possible angles, not just up or down.
Physicist Michio Kaku of the City University of New York already calls today's computers classical. He uses a maze to explain quantum's difference.
Let's look at a classical computer calculating how a mouse navigates a maze. It is painful. One by one, it has to map every single left turn, right turn, left turn, right turn before it finds the goal. Now, a quantum computer scans all possible routes simultaneously. This is amazing.
And that's exactly what we are. Now, think about this, right? Your soul is like the mouse that's trying to navigate Pan's Labyrinth, right? Now, peep game, right? The reason we keep dying and coming back is because we've been operating under classical computer design. The mouse is trying to make it out of the trap, which is the earth realm. And the white mouse is your soul going through Pan's Labyrinth. It'll take us forever to make it out this thing using classical computation techniques. So the people in power right now, they are upping their game to a quantum computer level because we're doing the same and we about to make it out. The way that our paradigm is evolving as a collective, we're no longer operating in a classical computer sense. We're doing what the quantum computer doing. And when we start activating our quantum computer programming, we gonna make it out this maze just like the rat on the right. The reason we've been stuck inside of this shit is because we're inside of a quantum computer, but we're not acting like a quantum computer. Until we mimic the shit that we're in, we won't even make it out. And that's the as above, so below. We gotta mimic this thing. If you don't operate on an advanced level of this machine you're in, you can't outthink it and rise above it. This is why people got to wake up to this level of understanding before they can make it out the earth. What's leading this rat down the wrong dead end every time is he's going with the wrong chakras. If you're not being led by pure getting out the simulation and the soul and the ancestors, you being led by something else, and that's going to be a dead end. You came to the earth to do whatever desire you want. When you say I'm ready to get out this bitch, you going to quit operating like a classical computer, because that's on purpose. At any given moment, you can activate your quantum abilities, scan all the particular stars in the sky, and know which one is the way out. Because think about this, right? The flat earthers are saying Polaris is the way out. But the people that keep getting reincarnated, they blinded by all them other stars. Those lead to dead ends, because ain't nothing really that but a reflected and refraction. It's reflected image of Polaris. So when you get there, you wasted your energy. You will sleep right there. See, to me, all of these other false lights in the sky, they are big piles where souls crashed into each other, thinking that was a way out. But that was a crash site. Because when things crash together, they make a big bright light too. You rush toward these false lights, and when you get there, you realize it was other people did what you doing, and y'all all crashed into each other. And you realize this ain't the way out. This a crash trap. God damn. And then you say Polaris is the real opening to let us out. All the other stars are people that crash together aiming in the wrong direction. You can look at them like that, like the mouse hitting the wall. Boom! And another mouse behind him took the same false route. Boom! Each one of them stars that ain't in the middle, that ain't Polaris, is people hitting a dead end. Boom! But the brightest one, Polaris, literally leads out like the one on the right. And the people that follow that route, they had to tap into their quantum skills. They couldn't operate like the people who just, they still in class. That's what classical computer mean. You still in class, right? You ain't graduated yet. When you graduate, you like the rat on the right. You get up out the bitch, like out of school. But let's keep going with this. I'm gonna break this. If y'all like the way I'm breaking down this quantum computer video in my own way to speak to you, drop a 1. Now check this out. If you look at these quantum computer, the path and the maze, what is that? That's a QR code, bro. Listen what I'm telling. This ain't a reach. Check me out. Each one of these matrices is their own QR code that gotta be scanned. Think about this, y'all. Why do we scan QR codes? Why do we scan QR codes? Huh? The same reason that the quantum computer is scanning this maze on the right. See, the QR code is a particular pattern, and if you don't get the pattern right, you don't unlock the code. In other words, if I make a QR code of my website, that's turning brosanchez.com into a squiggly little pattern like what we see here. You see this green line? This little pattern that the mouth took, this shape, this little pattern can be seen as brosanchez.com. So when you scan the QR code, it's gonna, this pattern is hidden behind the maze, and it's gonna lead you to brosanchez.com, just like it's leading the mouse out the maze. So when you scan a QR code, there's a certain hidden pattern on the code that will allow you access into wherever gateway this code is sending you to, whether it's a website or no matter what it is. When you scan this thing, it highlights the path that leads to whatever that website is, right? So that's how the QR code, the QR code work, just like this. You see what I'm saying? And that's how it finds its way to that particular site, by scanning. These are quantum techniques, y'all, that they've been incorporating on smaller levels, but now they're gonna put it on a big level. But let's go ahead and finish get through this video.
Of the City University of New York already calls today's computers classical. He uses a maze to explain quantum's difference.
Let's look at a classical computer calculating how a mouse navigates a maze. It is painful. One by one, it has to map every single left turn, right turn, left turn, right turn before it finds.
That is a soul that keep reincarnating inside of Pan's Labyrinth. You keep coming back because you can't find your way out. That's the classical computer. We're about to be upgraded now, y'all, and we about to be multidimensional. All this technology that's happening outside of us is because we getting upgraded inside of us. Remember what I told you earlier, as within, so without. They got to step their game up because we waking up to the quantum techniques. We're basically reprogramming our own mind as a collective, and that's going to take us into the Aquarian age. Now, what is the Aquarian age? Let me go ahead and break that down to you right quick. It ain't going to take but 1 minute. The Aquarian age is represented by water. You know why? That is when man started navigating the waters above and waters below. Look at here. The Aquarian age is when we become aquatic creatures again. Aquarian age is when we become Dagons, fish gods, fish creatures. And the fish creature don't mean that you're a mermaid. It means that we are spiritual beings that can navigate the waters above and waters below. See, because the mermaid was never dealing with a fish tail. It was dealing with a ghost tail. I'm serious. This is the original mermaid. It ain't talking about humans living in a fucking ocean. Dog, if humans was living in the ocean, we would have been found them, or they can hide like a motherfucker. The humans that's living in the ocean that's hiding from us are not mermaids. They are ethereal beings that's outside of our visible spectrum. They are called ghosts. So this is a lie right here. This the bullshit that they giving you. See, they rather give you this right here because they don't want to give you this right here. The mermaid is literally your spirit traveling the waters above. That's when we in our fish form, which is the sperm cell. That's when you have one big ass tail for a leg. People keep talking about human mermaids. They talking about humans that got one fish fin instead of 2 legs. That was your sperm cell, dog. They turning the secrets of our birth and our death into mythology, into stories and shit. So the ghost becomes a mermaid. But let's continue.
Is the goal. Now, a quantum computer scans all possible routes simultaneously. This is amazing. How many turns are there? Hundreds of possible turns, right?
Now watch this. When they say open up your third eye, let me show you something what they saying about what the quantum computer doing. The quantum computer will scan every single possible route and go to the one that's the way out. But if you ain't got the quantum computer skills, you gotta operate like the mouse that's in the classical computer. Why? Because he can't scan every route. Why can't he scan every route? His third eye ain't open. Sanchez, what you mean? Check this out, brother. Check this out. Your third eye is the light that's on your caveman helmet. You see what I'm saying? Let me show you something. If your light that's on your caveman helmet ain't bright enough, you gonna be going down the wrong path. You might get stuck in that cave. You might die in that cave. Cause if your light ain't bright enough in this dark ass cave, guess what? You gonna have to go down each path individually like the mouse on the left. But if somebody got a bright ass light on their helmet, they can light up the whole cave and see what the way out is. And that cave light on top of your helmet is the third eye. Now let me show you something. Look at the third eye, y'all. You see where it's at, right? That's gonna illuminate the path of darkness for you. Like the caveman with his helmet on, with his light on that helmet. I like this one. I gotta use it. I'm sorry. I like that. I fucking like that one. Shout out to the artist that made this one. We got to use it. So check this out, right? Look at the third eye. It ain't nothing but a light that's illuminating the path of darkness. Look. Now, if your third eye ain't open all the way, you're gonna be acting like the mouse that's on the left. Let's play this again. You in a cave right now. And the reason you keep reincarnate is because you won't open up your fucking mind. Now, let me show you what you doing, fool. Look at here.
Classical. He uses a maze to explain quantum's difference.
Let's look at a classical computer calculating how a mouse navigates.
Translation, let's look at a stubborn dumbass that don't want to open their mind to what the ancestors teaching. This is how they, come on, let's translate it.
A maze. It is painful. One by one, it has to map every single left turn, right turn, left turn.
Because it won't open its third eye. Because it got that damn ass light on the top of that helmet, and you literally got to go towards some shit to literally illuminate it. Instead of me, I can stand right here and light the whole side of that cave up without walking over there. You and your dumb ass light, I meant your dumb ass light because the word dumb is dim. The dim light is the dumb light. That's why we say the smart people are bright. They are bright. And the dumb people are dumb, dim, dumb, dim. A demon is a dumb man. Because a dumb man can be used for any purposes, no matter how evil they are. That's a dumb man that strap bombs to himself and blow up a child in the name of Allah. That's a dumb man that join a gang and allow himself to be used by some people that don't give a fuck about him. You a demon, a dumb man, a demon, dumb ass, dumb man. Dumb people do evil shit. It's just facts, man. They don't do them because they evil. They do them more so that they dumb as fuck, because I can tell you right now, watch this. I can tell you right now, right? Everybody in a gang ain't evil. But everybody that join a gang is so dumb than a motherfucker. Being dumb is the gateway to being evil. That's what I'm saying. Now check this out, right? Ignorance. It's because the world is ignorant while it's so evil. Think about it. The world evil as hell, but the average human ain't even that evil for real. They just dumb as hell. And they're helping perpetuate the evil with their own ignorance, thinking that they doing the right thing most of the time. That's why I said being dumb is really being evil. That's why I said dumb is dim. But check this out, right? Dummy is just another word for demon. And here's what I'm saying here. Demons don't open up their third eye to spiritual concepts because dummies only think in the fleshly form and the bodily form. That's why dummies always make mistakes, because they don't let their spirit guide them. They literally operate under the body, and they keep finding themselves making mistakes like dumbasses. Dummies, demons. If they were bright, they would make better choices. Bright people. How are you bright? Because your third eye open. Think about this, right? If me and you in a cave, I'm going to say, look at those bright people over there. That's because they light is the brightest. All of these cave explorers are in a dark cave. And now we look like the night sky. Let me show you what I'm trying to teach you here. All of us, our third eye is a star in the sky. That's your mind. It exists on a higher plane. The brightest stars in the sky are the brightest minds on the earth, bro. Now, if the earth is a cave, like Plato said, it is the brightest minds in the cave that are leading the way for everybody else. And if you look at the sky, there's a hierarchy. The brightest stars are the ones furthest away. They are the highest ones too. And you may say, Sanchez, that ain't true. Because the sun, the brightest star in our sky, that don't mean it's the brightest star in the sky. The sun is only bright because it's closer to you. But there are stars in the sky that look dim. They look faint, but they are millions of times brighter than the sun. In fact, they are so much brighter than the sun that technically you shouldn't even be seeing them right now because they so fucking high up on a dimensional plane that just the fact that you can see a little bitty dull spot is brighter than the sun. That's what I'm telling you. It's some stars that are so fucking far away from the earth, they appear dull. But the fact that we can still see them, if we was right up on them, they would be like 1,000,000 times brighter than our sun. In fact, if you took our sun and put it back to those level of those stars, you wouldn't even see our sun. Our sun would be invisible because it ain't that bright. The highest stars may seem like they the dimmest stars, but they the highest ones. They really bright. The highest stars in the cosmos, they are far away from us and they don't seem like they that bright, but they actually are the brightest ones that's leading everybody else. Now check this out. The brightest star in the sky is Polaris. It's in the middle. It's in the middle. Now check this out. It's if every star in the sky is following Polaris, which is why Polaris is the guide. That's what's happening in the sky. So that's what happens on the earth with a compass. Everyone trying to find a way is gonna be guided by Polaris when they shoot an azimuth and use a compass. Because on a spiritual level, Polaris is the brightest mind among our rank. Every star is a projected mind, and Polaris ain't neither one of us. Polaris is a culmination of every falling star in the sky meeting up in one spot. So we exist united at Polaris, but we exist separated below Polaris as a bunch of different stars. And each of these different stars is just a ray of light that was born from Polaris. So united, they fall apart, but divided, they rise up together. And the Egyptians, they basically created a symbol to teach it. And this is it right here. Every ray of light that you see coming from that ball is a star in the sky. Each of these stars is the ending, is a ray of light that's being projected from Polaris. So we can exist in two forms, united in Eden or separated in the earth realm. If we wanna break apart from the hive mind or the base reality that we created in Eden and be a unique individual soul, then we leave Eden as one of these rays of light. And that's why these rays of light got a hand on it, you see? Each sentient being is tethered to Polaris. That's where we get our energy from. So each star in the sky is someone's silver cord or some animal's silver cord. You can't count the number of stars in the sky, just like you can't count the amount of dust grains that exist at the beach, because it's so much life in the earth, from flies to ladybugs, grasshoppers. Each one of them is a star too. Every dog, every horse, everything that's breathing with a soul is a star for you in heaven. That is just a tethering line that show where your energy is connecting to Polaris. Anything using energy, I gotta ask it where you getting your energy from. And it don't have to answer because I already know. There's only one source of energy, and that's a big tower in the middle of the earth. Everything is plugged into that. So you can look at each of these rays of light like a scuba diver going into the ocean, and every scuba diver got a lifeline so that they can breathe some air. So when all of us fallen angels came down into the earth realm, we had to be able to have a power, so energy, so oxygen to breathe. Just like a scuba diver got a lifeline where he can breathe, every single creature is tethered to this energy source that they're calling God. But the word God is the word guide. And this energy source that's powering our body will also tell our body what to do with that power. And that's the thing right there, what God is. God ain't just power. God is guide. God is infinite energy. But it's also the energy telling the recipient what to do with me. That's like me giving you a bunch of money and saying, hey man, I'm gonna give you this money, but this is what I want you to do with it. And if you do this with the money, you will be richer than all the money I'm giving you now. That's like me saying, listen, bro, I'm about to give you $1 million, but I don't want you to spend it on yourself. I want you to buy this business because you like to cook, right? You finna start a food business and you gonna make way more than $1 million. So quit looking at this $1 million like, okay, give me $1 million. I ain't giving you $1 million. I'm giving you this $1 million and I'm telling you what to do with it. If you do what I say do with it, you will have way more than $1 million. But if you take this shit and just ball out, you a fool and you can't ask me for nothing else. Because I just told you how to feed yourself with this $1 million, but you just spent it. Now you asking me for another $1 million. When I told you what to buy so you can keep making millions. So the soul is giving the body $1 million. That's energy. It's giving this avatar energy. But it ain't just giving you the energy. It's telling the body what to do with the energy to get the best results. And if the body don't do what the soul said, the one that gave you the energy, you ain't gonna get the results you looking for, and you gonna be like this rat that keep bumping his head. Because everyone looking for a way out, man. Don't nobody wanna be a slave. Everybody wanna be a boss. They wanna live a good life. Everybody looking for a way out the rat race, out of Pan's Labyrinth. But the way out is to literally follow your inner guide. Because every nigga think you can sell some dope. Every nigga want to rap. Every nigga want to join a gang. And all that lead to dead ends. Just like this rat right here. All that lead niggas to a dead end. The way out this shit is to follow your heart. And I know what I'm talking about because I've been fascinated with symbols since a little boy. And I never stopped my fascination with symbols. I didn't know where it was gonna take me. But here I am now. I'm a symbologist. I'm a syncretist. And I get paid good. I'm living the best life now doing this than I ever thought I can live being in the music industry or anything else. Following my heart. It led me to heaven. which is a state of mind that I wake up in the morning with butterflies waiting to do what I do. Some of y'all wake up in the morning and you depressed because you got to go do something you don't want to do. And I'm telling you, the only difference between me and you is I followed my fucking heart and gambled on myself, dog. That's why niggas can hate on me, but you playing it comfortable. I took a chance on myself. And if you gonna gamble on somebody, gamble on yourself. If people believed in themselves like they believed in all these gods, they'll get more results than believing in all these gods. Now, people, I ain't coming to play today. I'm coming to give somebody need to hear what I'm saying. And if you want to support my message and my cult, hit that Cash App I just posted. I'm being funny, right? Because they say I got my own religion, right? They say I'm a cult. Nigga, this right here is innocent motivation and positive vibes. This ain't no spooky shit. This me giving people the power, telling them that they are the controllers over them. See, in a cult, people take your power. In a cult, people want to vampire your power. If this was a cult, why would I be telling people to activate their own power? Why would I be telling people, don't believe what I'm saying, prove me wrong? That ain't what cults do. But let's go back to the video and do some more teaching, man. Come on.
It is painful. One by one, it has to map every single left turn, right turn, left turn, right turn before it finds the goal. Now, a quantum computer scans all possible routes simultaneously.
And guess what, y'all? That's because when we become quantum, which is what we talking about, when you activate your pineal gland, guess what? You just fired up your quantum computer. When we activate our pineal gland, we just fired up our quantum computer. And when we fire that motherfucker up, it is a Jedi sword, a lightsaber. That's what the Pharaoh holding in his hand, y'all. That's what the Pharaoh holding in his hand, y'all. When the Pharaoh fired up his quantum computer, he ended up with a lightsaber in his hand. That's flat from a reflection off of a Mount Service. That's what they call Mount Calvary. Look at this, y'all. This what the Pharaoh holding up, y'all. So, what are we learning, though, from this? We're learning that, excuse me, hold on. So we're learning that this is what the Jedi pillar, here's the Hindu cosmos. This is the backbone of Osiris. How is the Hindu universe the Pharaoh's backbone? Come on, think about that. How can the universe be my backbone? Because the spinal cord and the brain is the central nervous system, and that's literally where reality is taking place at. Right here. It's all in your head, in my Nelly voice, nigga. It's in your mind. And every time Nelly sang that song, he be looking weird as hell, cause it's all in my head. I think about it over and over again. Cause this world, you're gonna keep being reincarnated and rerunning this same simulation till you get it right. You think about it over and over again. That's the simulation. Every time you leave, you rethink this same shit. And you gotta learn how to think of something greater, something beyond this. Our thought paradigm is creating a threshold that dictates the level by which our soul can ascend or not. Your thoughts are your own barrier. You are limited by your own mind saying I can't do this or that. You know what I'm saying? So if a person say, man, you can't leave the earth. Man, what are you talking about living out the death, man? It's heaven or hell. They are programming their own reality, which with that mindset, they will come back to hell, which is the earth realm, and reincarnate until they open up their mind. In other words, so as a man thinks, so is he. And if you can't expand your own thought processes, you trapping yourself in a particular thought paradigm, and that thought paradigm will manifest as a universe that houses your body in it. And now you end up in a world where you got to master that world because you're really trying to master your own thought paradigms. As within, so without. The universe is creating an outward construct based upon an inward conflict. And it's making you work that out in a way that's tangible. Because think about this. If you are your thoughts, how do you fix your thoughts? If you exist as pure thoughts, how do I go inside of there and tinker with it and screw shit that's loose, replace the parts? How do I go inside of my own thoughts like a mechanic popping the hood of his car to fix stuff? You enter the simulation. You literally enter the place where your thoughts reside, and that's the central nervous system, which is a big quantum computer. And that's when God come onto the earth. And he say, I got to get to know myself and fix shit and work this thing out. You're a mechanic with your hood popped. You tinkering. That's what I'm telling you. You exist as pure thoughts. How do you fix? If you are pure thoughts without a body, how do you edit these thoughts? With a body. You make a body for yourself and enter your own thought space. And that's called a soul being born. You working out the flaws and the gifts and curses in your life is literally the soul tinkering with its spirit body so that when it close the hood and crank the car back up, it'll take off. That's why your soul stopped on the side of the road, because it had to pop the hood and do some work. But the side of the road ain't our home. Earth ain't our home, man. Earth is just us parking on the side of the road to pop the hood to fix some shit, and then we continue our journey home, man.
Artificial intelligence is the magic of the moment, but this is a story about what's next, something incomprehensible. Tomorrow, IBM will announce an advance in an entirely new kind of computing, one that may solve problems in minutes that would take today's supercomputers millions of years. That's the difference in quantum computing, a technology being developed at IBM, Google, and others. It's named for quantum physics, which describes the forces of the subatomic realm. The science is deep, and we can't scratch the surface, but we hope to explain enough so that you won't be blindsided by a breakthrough that could transform civilization.
A race between China, between IBM, Google, Microsoft, Honeywell, all the big boys are in this race to create a workable, operationally efficient quantum computer. Because the nation or company that does this will...
And just like Joe Biden, Makakaku is a squincher. Type it in the chat room. How many of y'all can spell it? I'll start this thing off right. Let me start this thing off right. I think I coined this word. Oh, I ain't spell it right. I forgot my N. Somebody gonna beat me to it. Joe Biden is a squincher too. There are certain people in the earth, they are just squinchers. Yeah, you know, you ever met a squincher? They do this. For no reason, the sun ain't even out, but they squinching. You come, drop a one if you ever met a squincher before. Them squinchers fucking the game up in it. Because it ain't even, you be like, what time is it, nigga? Why is you squinching at 9 p.m., motherfucker? The squinchers got me looking at my clock like, damn, nigga. Got me squinching this shit. Where the sun at? Hey, D. Allen Warren salutes flat motherfucking power, man. He said, I hate when they F with your great streams. Keep moving forward. It's all good. I'm going to redeem myself tomorrow. Yeah, man, these squinchers. Let's go ahead, man. That shit sound like a fruit drink, don't it? Squinchers, pineapple. That shit sound like some shit in a little, and it can't be the fruit drink that's in a bottle. It gotta be in a pouch, like a Capri Sun. That's what squinchers sound. It sound like a little juice that come in a little pouch, like Capri Sun. Squinchers, the ultimate thirst quencher, like shit ass looking type. Let's go.
To create a workable, operationally efficient quantum computer. Because the nation or company that does this will rule the world economy.
Y'all hear that? There's a political side of this quantum computer. When people be talking about that's pseudo, that's this, that. Look here, man. The man that makes the first efficient quantum computer gonna be like this pharaoh right here, son. Yeah, look at that pharaoh. See, that pharaoh is holding. Why did you think Egypt ruled the world? Now, I know this sound like some shit from a sci-fi movie, but listen to what I'm telling you, man. Egypt, what did Makai Kaku just tell you right there? What did Makai Kaku just tell you? You feel me? Adrian Morrow, go ahead and give Rob a wrench. You gonna have to donate like $1,000, son, if you trying to pay for that shit. Yeah, that $9.99 ain't gonna get Rob a wrench. Everybody gonna have to pitch in for Rob, and we might have to open up a GoFundMe for how much it'll cost Rob to get a wrench. Now check me out, right? Listen at what Makai Kaku just said. He said the country that builds the first fully operational quantum computer is gonna rule the world. Now my question is, why did Egypt rule the world so long? Because they had some called an obelisk and some called a Jedi pillar. Come on now. And they said that the Egyptians had this sort of tree of life, this oracle, where they can see the past, present, future. They can get any answer that they want. Guess what? Don't that sound like a Google computer? You can do an animation in a computer right now that'll tell you what will look like 100 years from now, and it'll be 99% accurate. And it could give you the past and future. This is what computers can do. Allow us to make predictions. All of that. What allowed the Egyptians to rule the world for so long? See, this is what they don't want to tell y'all. The war that's being fought on the earth is a cyber war. They got y'all thinking about guns and nuclear weapons. Man, the real war, what we calling a spiritual war, is the cyber war, the digital world. That's their synthetic spiritual world. That's what I'm telling y'all. They built this shit based on a real spiritual world. And that's why things happen in the spiritual world before they happen in this world, because this the Johnny come late reverse engineered version. If you following me from Bro Sanchez TV, then you already know where I'm at with it. We just continuing the knowledge. Shout out to my brother Farmer John. He said, you know what it is, bro. Flat motherfucking power. Appreciate all of y'all. See if we can.
But a reliable, general-purpose quantum computer is a tough climb yet. Maybe that's why this wall is in the lobby of Google's quantum lab in California. Here, we got an inside look, starting with a microscope's view of what replaces the transistor.
This right here is...
Check this out. This right here allowed quantum computers to be possible. Shout out to my brother Lewis Russell, Flat motherfucking power. Watch this. Watch this. Now listen, I want everybody to look at this thing. It's called a transistor. Now check this out, y'all. Check this out. Give me 1 minute. Check this out. Now, if you, shout out to Xavier Matisse and Ezekiel the God. I appreciate the love, y'all. Hey, check this out right here. This is what they was worshiping in the ancient world. You can't make this shit up, y'all. This right here was the single-handed technology that allowed man to become a god, which was the missing link from regular computers and quantum computers. The universe is a quantum computer. Man made computers, but those computers didn't give him the power of God. There's a specific kind of computer that can rival the power of God, and that's a quantum computer. Now listen, if you coming from the stream from Bro Sanchez TV, I told you how the Pharaoh cheated death with a quantum computer, and he didn't cheat death with a golden tomb, which is why when you say quantum, the word tomb is in quantum. Now watch this. Look at Moses' staff right here. That's a transistor. This symbol right here represents the missing link that we found that even caused us to even think about this, what I'm saying. This symbol right here is the advancement that took us to the spiritual sciences, which is why it is a spiritual symbol. Rewind it. But I want you to look at where one of these transistors is. It's a serpent cross. All of this are the symbols of what allowed quantum computing possible, which is why Moses was a wise man. The Pharaoh in Egypt created a quantum computer. That's how Egypt ruled the world. Makakaku just told you that. Yo, we started turning technological concepts into symbols. And this is why the serpent is wrapped around the cross. This the whole concept with the serpent and the cross right here is literally a transistor. And the wise man Moses would have known that, because him opening up a portal to let the people to the other side would have been him doing what the Pharaoh did with the Jedi pillar, which is why Moses got the staff, which is the same thing the Pharaoh holding right here, to split the sea. That right there creates a metaverse. The splitting the sea means all of our realities sit within a medium called the ether. And when we make our own simulation, we just created another ocean of existence. We just created another pond for fishes to live in. Could upload their mind in a metaverse. That's the simple truth of what we see here. And the transistor made all of this possible. They just told you that. I didn't tell you that. And that's why you can see this symbol all over the world, man. So remember, I deal with symbolism. Let me take some of these collages off real quick. Let me see here. And I'm gonna also let people call in. Let's look at the chat. Hey, shout out to United with Earth's Energy. Massive big ups, Sanchez. They know you got the story right, my brother. Appreciate it. This is my religion, though, y'all. This is my religion, Sanchezology. Don't y'all find it strange that all I'm doing is giving y'all good vibes and connecting symbolism, trying to connect us with the ancestors, but you got a bunch of messy-ass niggas that tried to infiltrate me who like to sit around and gossip with confused humans who got confused sexuality. A bunch of so-called alpha males and real men that sit around for hours every day gossiping with trannies and shit. My thing is, let me just move on and continue in my own lane. You can't fuck with everybody, because it'll kill what you doing and compromise the real environment I'm trying to make. So, nigga, like, and y'all see that I'm trying to keep my energy on my shit, because I can really go in on a lot of these clowns, too. But I ain't going to do it. I'm going to give the people what they want. And like I said, this is better than that, because look at what we unlocking already. You feel me? Oh, man, I ain't judging a person's, sexuality or nothing. I'm just saying dudes that like to hang out in gay bars all the time. Hey, man, you know. But let me get off of that. Anyway, this is the symbol of a transistor. Like I said, all of these ancient symbols are fucking patents, technological concepts that were too advanced for us to understand. But yeah, man. Let me clear up some of these pictures here. We gotta keep it. Big King Raccoon said flat motherfucking power. Salute, bro Sanchez.
Is 1 qubit, and this is
That'll get me a strike. Let's go back to this one. That's what happened.
another qubit. This is a 5 qubit chain.
Those cross
So think about that, man. The 5 qubits, think about this. You can look at those 5
microscopes
You can look at these 5 transistors as the 5 kashas.
view of what replaces the transistor.
This right here is 1 qubit, and this is another qubit. This is a 5 qubit chain.
Now let me show you what this 5 qubit chain is based on. Watch this. Each one of these little transistors, it allowing the energy to transition from one state to another. A transistor, you see, it's in the name. So each one of your 5 kashas is one of these transistors, because it's a version of your energy that got to transition to a higher form in order for it to cross over. And it's 5 layers of it. And they telling you it's 5 transistors. And the symbol of the transistor represent a chakra vortex or a kundalini serpent. Because think about it. The plus sign represent a vortex like the swastika. That's what a chakra is. It's a portal. It's a vortex. But think about it. The squiggly line attached to it is the serpent concept. Think about it. They reverse engineering us, y'all. That ain't nothing but the kundalini shit. So the kundalini is the serpent, and then the circle is the vortex. Look at this. These circles are vortexes. They're cymatic frequencies. But the serpent wrapped around them is the one that's playing all these different tunes. That's why Satan rules music. The body is like a guitar, and this serpent is playing it. That's the Kundalini. See how this is how the serpent respond to the plus sign. See, I'm not a tech guru. I just understand that there's a spiritual side to technology. So I more so know how it relates to me than the tech itself. But I can turn this same concept into a technical mindset and reverse engineer me into machines, which is all they doing. And I'm saying that to show you all of technology start on a spiritual level. You can't have technology without spirituality. And the people who ain't creating technology, they ain't spiritual. And the people who rule in the technological world, they are archons that's playing with magic and spiritual concepts that's dealing with us, deep concepts we forgot about. They dealing with deep advanced concepts we forgot about. And they reverse engineering it to technology. But if you look at and see how the technology relate to you, you will be inventing shit. And it ain't about who the toughest or strongest. It's who's the smartest. Because like Makaku just said, whichever country make the quantum computer first, they gonna rule the world. Not the nigga who the toughest. Not the nigga if you step on his shoes, he gonna wanna fight your ass. Not the nigga who hating on his crab in the bucket ass niggas on the internet. These people thinking big, man. They trying to rule the world while you got black men trying to hate on another black man. We so far at the fucking bottom, we can never compete on an international level because a nigga gotta use his energy just to break free from the crabs in the goddamn bucket. It's sad.
Those crosses at the bottom are qubits, short for quantum bits. They hold the electrons and act like artificial atoms. Unlike transistors, each additional qubit doubles the computer's power. It's exponential.
Did you hear that? Each qubit doubles the computer power exponentially. You see what I'm saying? Each computer doubles the computer power exponentially. Damn, dog. That's crazy. That's crazy because each one of your chakras is amplifying the light of your soul. It's basically turning up the volume. That's what these transistors are doing. Spot on with what I'm saying about the 5 kashas. Let's listen.
So while 20 transistors...
When they say that each one is basically doubling the power exponentially, look at what your kashas is doing. Each kasha is gradually getting bigger exponentially. It's going from a size 2 to a size 4 to a size 4 to a size 8 to a size 8 to a size 16. This is what your kashas are doing. They're gradually increasing the energy exponentially. And it's 5 of them, and they're doing the same thing that these 5 transistors are doing. You see what I'm saying? I really strongly believe all of this quantum computer stuff is them reverse engineering our central nervous system. And that's why I'm able to make these connections. Because it ain't just me reaching. It's literally some legitimate method to behind my claim.
Microscope's view of what replaces the transistor.
This right here is 1 qubit, and this is another qubit. This is a 5 qubit chain.
Those crosses at the bottom are qubits, short for quantum bits.
That's what the chakras are. And when we talk about bit, that's the same thing as like biting. Each chakra point is a bite. It's a tear. A bite mark in the fabric of reality that's allowing the energy to accelerate that much more by going through a wormhole. It's like a nitro boost on a car. Your energy is in motion, right? And as it flows through each of the chakra vortexes, it picks up acceleration exponentially. You feel me? So let's say your energy starts at the middle chakra, the middle kasha. It's going 20 miles per hour. When it passed through that, it's going 40 miles per hour. And when it passed through the next one, 80 miles per hour. When it passed through the next one, 160 miles per hour. And so forth and so on exponentially, the speed increasing just like the size of the kashas exponentially. Everything we teaching about the spiritual body is what they teaching here about the layout and inner workings of a quantum computer, y'all. I can't make this up. This is all syncretism. See, I knew when I wanted to be a syncretist that I wanted to sync things that wasn't nobody else syncing. People, all of the syncretists be syncing all of the same shit. I said, bro, I'm gonna be syncing shit together to see if it relates shit that they never thought about to sync together under the concept of everything is everything. And boy, am I onto something. Let's go, man.
Here, we got an inside look, starting with a microscope's view of what replaces the transistor.
This right here is 1 qubit, and this is another qubit. This is a 5 qubit chain.
Those crosses at the bottom are qubits, short for quantum bits. They hold the electrons and act like artificial atoms.
Atom is another way of saying, bro, that's so crazy. Look, the atoms are the different cells. Atom is the original man, which is the Akashic body, the Akashic records in the garden at the tree of life. That's the information, the Akashic records. Adam, it don't exist in just one form. Adam gave birth to Cain and Abel and Noah and all them. That is like your central self giving birth to all of your other kashas. These stories we read about is literally the story of this spiritual concept right here. Real talk. The atoms, when they said each one of them is acting like an atom is like a kasha, a little man that God breathed the breath into. Because all of these kashas are like balloons. They only became inflated when we put the soul inside the avatar. And when the soul leave the avatar, the body gonna decompose and flatten out and shrivel up and wither away. Because it's like a balloon that's inflated with the soul. Each one of these kashas, man. Damn it, man. Every time I play the video, it backs me up on what I'm saying. They're just reverse because we are a big quantum computer. Your mind and your body is a huge quantum computer. And they just reverse engineering that. And that's why all the symbols and all of the concepts resemble ancient symbols and ancient mythological concepts. You see what I'm saying? The transistor is the thing that allowed the energy to transition. So when Moses hold the staff up and split the sea, he allowing the people to get to the other side. The people are the energy that's transitioning. If you start thinking of these mythological stories in the form of energy, it'll make so much sense to you. He used a staff to split the sea, meaning he used a transistor to split the energy into 5 qubits like they showing here. And when you split electrical energy, that's a way of saying chopping the water in half. Electricity is like water. And if you're going to split the energy and you want to tell that in a mythological way, then the story of Moses will make perfect sense. He's holding a transistor in his hand. And they was teaching advanced technological concepts to children by personifying the concepts into mythos. Ain't that brilliant? So Moses is holding, think about what these transistors are doing. They're taking the energy and splitting it up. And every time the energy flow through one of these things, it doubles in its processing power exponentially. So by the time it get to the fifth transistor, it increased its damn power so much, we can now call it a quantum computer. That's the only difference between this computer and regular supercomputers. Basically, they took the computing power and multiplied by 5, and it's increasing in power exponentially every time it's multiplied. And it's multiplied 5 times. You do the math. That's a fucking lot of computing power. Especially when you think about the fact that 5 of them, that's a quantum computer. That'll give you an idea of how much computing power we talking about and why they told you this amount of computing power is equivalent of our universe's Big Bang. So man now got the amount of computing power to literally rival God right now. You can't even make this up. That's what we talking about.
Unlike transistors, each
Oh, wow, man. It's just so crazy what's going on. Drop a 1 if y'all can hear me, man. Talking about 5 of them. That's a quantum computer. That'll give you idea. All right, so it captured what I was saying, so I'm going to keep going. I see 1, so let's keep going. They trying everything to censor this motherfucking truth, man. That is crazy. Let's go.
additional qubit doubles the computer's power. It's exponential. So while 20 transistors are 20 times more powerful than 1, 20 qubits are 1,000,000 times more powerful than 1.
Oh my God! Y'all hear that? That's crazy. This is a huge jump in computing technology. And that's why they kept telling you the world ain't ready for this. Yo, think of all of the computing power we got today and multiply it by 5 million. That's just a starting point for where quantum computers are starting at. Think about what I just said. Think of all of the computing power that we got in our world and multiply by 5 million. That's kindergarten. Think about this, right? Your first gaming console was an Atari. Remember the Atari, the Sega Genesis? That was your first little baby version. I'm telling you that our first quantum computer, the baby version, the one we just made, is all of our computing power in the world times 5 million. And this is just our first version that we ain't even perfect yet. Oh my God! This is like Atari. This is like the Atari of quantum computer. I'm trying to give y'all some perspective here of what's going on. Why they telling you we ain't ready for this yet. See what I'm saying? Think about that. All of the computing power we got in our world at this moment times 5 million, and that's just a baby quantum computer. That's the first. That's the T Model Ford, the Model T Ford. That's your horse and carriage version. Your horse and carriage version is 5 million times the computing power of of all the computing power we got in the world right now. These are just the first edition. Like I know I keep repeating myself because this is just fucking mind blowing. It's mind blowing. Yeah, it's mind blowing. We got in the world right now. These are just the first edition. Like I drop a one if that's crazy to y'all too.
One.
So this gets positioned right here on the fridge. And this is
Karina Chow, Chief Operating Officer of Google's lab, showed us the processor that holds the qubits. Much of that above chills the qubits to what physicists call near absolute zero.
So think about this, y'all. The quantum computer is using so much energy that it basically got to have antifreeze like a car. And it chills the computer to like near freezing, right? Like it chills it to these numbers that are ridiculous. You would freeze up. Like these things are processing so much power, they got to operate in freezing conditions or they will overheat. Now, how many of y'all saw the movie Demolition Man? Let's go to it. Remember Demolition Man? Where they was freezing humans inside of a cryonic machine. Yo, go watch the movie. A lot of y'all young, man. In this movie called Demolition Man, they created cryogenic prisons where they would freeze you in time. And when they freeze you, you would live out reality in your mind in a frozen state. See, when you say, when you talk about the North Pole, right? Time exists in a frozen state at the North Pole. The symbol of a police badge is the symbol of a compass. And what does the police say? Freeze. What is the word police? Pole ice. Santa Claus from the place of the cold. Santa Claus, think about it. They telling you the truth. Santa Claus is at the North Pole and they say it's cold as hell at the North Pole. What's going on at the North Pole to where it's the coldest place in the universe, but it's the most energy there? And you would think, right, that where the most energy is at, it would be the hottest. Now think about it. What is the quantum computer telling us? The quantum computer got more energy and power than any other computer in the world, but it's the coldest because they freeze it, they keeping it in a frozen state because with that much power, it'll overheat. So it's a paradox. So it's a paradox. Just like what's happening at the pole ice, police, freeze. They showing the badge is the square and compass. Let me show you something real quick. This is cryogenics, man. Let me show you something. Here's what's happening at the North Pole. You exist in a frozen state. This is what you exist as. This is your cryogenic jar right here. You see what I'm saying? That's your cryogenic jar. And when you basically got to break the ice. Your Merkaba is like a ship, but it ain't any kind of ship. It's an icebreaker. It's an icebreaker. Go look up an icebreaker ship. That's what your soul is, B. Your soul is an icebreaker that exists at the North Pole that is breaking through all of these motherfucking ethereal barriers and being born again out of a cryogenic prison. We've done this. This is a quantum computer. The body is a quantum computer that is frozen in a sleep state in time so that it can wake up. So think about it. In our frozen state, all of the energy of the universe is flowing through us. When you look at when you look at Sylvester Stallone in his cryonic jar, locked inside of this jar is all of the energy in the universe. And that energy is being used for him to create a dream world as he's frozen in time in the jar. Just like I'm showing you here with the Matrix. All that energy is now imploded inside so that it can create this dream, this simulation in the central nervous system. You see what I'm saying? So when we wake up, we literally break the ice. Just like in Demolition Man. And we wake up in an advanced utopia where our ancestors already create a technological heaven with green technology. But the price to get to it is to go through the underworld. This is like when you get to this world, you've mastered this underworld to where you graduate, you deserve to be. Every soul up here know how to behave, know how to control themselves. It's beautiful. It's a utopia because they've already worked out their demons and purged themselves in the underworld when they were sleeping. So basically the ancestors created this safe sleep state for us to work out our demons so that when we finally break through the ice, nothing that'll enter heaven. Only thing that's gonna enter this realm is your purified angelical form. Cause you already been to the earth killing, stealing, fucking. You said, I'm tired of that. That's purgatory. You was able to purge that out to the point where you did it so many times, your soul was hungering for something more. And that something more is what eventually lead everyone out. It eventually lead everyone out. Shout out to Reggie P. He said, fire show, thank you. We live in a real life sci-fi movie where our whole life is a test to see who's worthy to enter this advanced utopia that we've created. We created a world with zero crime. Why? Because we was able to screen children at birth and let them run out their lifetime. And we seeing what they was gonna do bad and let them work that out in a prison called Earth and serve their time so when they get out, they'll be corrected. It's a correctional facility. Our ancestors were so advanced, they said we can create a world with zero crime if when a baby is born, we plug them into the matrix and we simulate an adult life. That baby is gonna do all the wrongs it was gonna do in heaven. That baby gonna realize I shouldn't have killed that man. I shouldn't have stole from that person. That baby is gonna reincarnate till it get it right, till it learn that ain't the way you do unto others. You do unto others as you have them do unto yourself. It will stay plugged up, frozen in time into this system till it learn how to behave, and then our ancestors will unplug you. Everybody in this higher realm, they know how to act. They don't need police. They don't need lawyers and none of that shit. They've risen up. These are souls that already done all the wrong. They already died saying, I killed this nigga, I did this, I did that. They done came back several times making these mistakes, which is why they ain't gonna make them no more. They purged themselves of that version of themselves, and the Matrix gave them a place to do that at. Our ancestors create a safe environment for us to manifest our demons. For you to realize that these lower versions ain't what you want to be. It's the process of elimination. And until you eliminate all of these lower versions, you didn't slay all of your demons. You came here to do the process of elimination, to eliminate all these versions that's lower than what you know. You better than that. As we say, if you know better, you do better. And you put away that lower version and activate the version of you that know better so you can do better. Shout out to Thug Rob. Much love, my nigga. We having a feast and learning a lot from you.
Sanchez cocinando.
So, what's happening here in this matrix is souls are given the opportunity to do as much vices as they want. The only time we can be evil is in this simulation. But see, this is why don't no crime exists in heaven. Because we already did what they trying to do in all these sci-fi movies. Go watch Demolition Man. They created a world with zero crime. And how did they do it? By freezing people in time and shit. They giving you a little bit of the truth. What our ancestors did in our advanced base reality, soon as you was born, they plugged you up into the matrix. That's why you ain't never been born for real. Basically, our mamas and daddies exist in an advanced society where we will basically enter the quantum computer called Earth. Now, all of this shit sound like a sci-fi movie, and it is. But I'm telling you that the movie is based on true shit that the ancestors was teaching about the earth and cosmology and our spirit in the body. But check this out, right? And what the ancestors was saying was, you still a baby in the base reality. And your whole concept of growing up being a man and doing all your mistakes and stuff is them creating a simulation for babies to simulate the lives of adults. Because guess what? Our ancestors said the same thing that we say. Man, if I can do it all over again, I wouldn't make them same mistakes. So guess what our ancestors did? They created a world where before a baby get old, it can go inside of a computer and grow old and live out a lifetime and make all of its mistakes, so that when it finally is born into the real world, it don't got to say, I wish I knew what I knew now, what I knew then. Because when you wake up in the advanced reality that our ancestors created, you're going to be a little bitty baby that have made all the mistakes of your lifetimes. Meaning you're going to be a god as a baby. The babies in our base reality, they're like superhumans. They are like part of all of the humans in Eden are superhumans. They don't know how to do wrong because they've already worked out all of their wrong in the underworld before they got unplugged. You can't force them to, it's impossible for them to do wrong because they've lived out so many fucking lifetimes where they bumped their head on the wall doing wrong. That's what I'm saying. Our ancestors created a situation where you can simulate multiple lifetimes, and in your simulation, you're going to say, man, I wish I knew I wish I knew this when I was a baby, right? Is what we say. So our ancestors granted that wish. They created this system so you can know this as a baby. So all of the babies in the base reality, when they wake up, they already know all of the knowledge they need to know to be their greatest version because they've already been through the simulation.